the Speaker recognizes the Honourable the Minister of Natural Resources.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And this is the first opportunity I've had to thank the wonderful people of St. John's West for giving me the opportunity to work on their behalf in the House of Assembly. I want to thank them for their mandate they have given me to represent them, to advocate on their behalf, and to ensure their concerns are represented within this House and within our government. I consider it a great honour to represent them and their interests and to serve our province. I will work hard every day to ensure they are well represented. My commitment to the people of St. John's West is to always work hard with integrity and openness and always in their best interests. Mr. Speaker, St. John's West has been represented by such notable people as Joseph Smallwood, William Adams, John Crosby, Rex Gibbons, to name but a very few. And they have all conducted themselves honourably in this House, and I will work to their ideals. I want to recognize the many volunteers, especially as this is Volunteer Week, who worked so diligently to ensure a healthy democracy. Their efforts are appreciated by all who sit in the legislature and all those who offer themselves for public service. After spending weeks on the campaign trail and months in preparation, it is humbling to see democracy in action and to appreciate the ability of the people of the province to effect change. I'd also like to specifically thank the volunteers of my own campaign. They spent many days and nights knocking on doors during the campaign and have spent an incredible amount of time talking and speaking with the residents of St. John's West. And I want to especially thank the residents of St. John's West who welcomed me so much into their homes for great conversations about how we can improve this beautiful province of ours. Mr. Speaker, I had the privilege of representing the people of St. John's West from 2008 to 2011 as a Member of Parliament for St. John's South Mount Pearl. And today I have the honour of representing them again in this honourable House. St. John's West is home to a diverse group of people and service groups. It's home to the Cowan Heights Neighbourhood Watch Association, the West Heights Tenants Association, the Parkside Community Centre, the Shrine Club, to name but a few. And I've heard from the people of St. John's West on their concerns about health care, education, affordable housing, infrastructure, safety and security, and a range of other issues facing seniors and young families alike. What the people of the province and the people of St. John's West want is a stronger economy, more opportunities, the best education, and improved health care. We are joined together in this House in common purpose to improve the lives of Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. Let us focus on ensuring that the decisions we make reflect the needs of our citizens. We should remind ourselves that we are here on behalf of the people, and let us always be reminded of and always do what is right on behalf of the citizens of our province. By way of introduction, I am a first-generation Canadian, as I'm sure a lot of people are in this room today, and an eighth-generation Newfoundlander and Labradorian. I am proud to have the opportunity to contribute to building our great province. Both my mother and my father have instilled in me a sense of responsibility to ensure that Newfoundland and Labrador develops along a successful path. But they also instilled in me a tremendous value in our community and how important it is to contribute. As I was growing up, I was always quoted Churchill when Winston Churchill said, "You make a life by what you get. You make a living by what you get, a life by what you give." And I listened intently over the years to my father-in-law, Patrick Coady, who sadly lost his life to the sea many years ago, about 20 years ago now. And he used to engage me in incredibly knowledgeable debates and discussions about how we can be a better province, what we can do to improve the fishery, what we can do to improve education, what we can do to improve the lives of the people of this province. And I'm so grateful for those experiences and and the information that has been passed down to me by my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my parents, about the sense of responsibility to this place, and also to the sense of what can be achieved in Newfoundland and Labrador. I'm sure there are many people in this House who have been asked the questions, You know, why are we involved in politics? The start of my political interest was from a very young age. I recall going to Ottawa as a 15-year-old as a part of a venture and citizenship program that was through Rotary at the time. And I was able to sit in the House of Commons and listen to what it meant to be a member of the House, what a parliamentarian does. And from that age of 15, I decided that I would like to serve one day, working towards a better province and a better country. And I am honored and proud to be here today to do just that on behalf of the great citizens of St. John's West. Through the course of my life, I've been an entrepreneur and a business person. I'm a past chair of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, a governor now of the Canadian Chamber, past president of the St. John's Board of Trade, and sat on a number of boards, everything from the Board of Genome Canada, the Public Policy Forum, the St. John's Airport Authority, to name a few. And I've always taken away from those experiences what it meant to the people of this province, what those experiences could mean in terms of enriching and in developing activities for this province. There was a time in my career when I was sitting on one side of the desk asking the government to do something, and I remember thinking to myself at the time, if you really want to do something, if you really want to have an impact, I should be sitting on the other side of the desk. I encourage many people to consider public life. If they really want to achieve what they think is a better vision for their province, for their country, for their communities, they should seek to sit in public office. And I remember thinking to myself then that if I could achieve that goal, I would be able to fulfill some of the things that I was asking government to do. Now, I have a great deal of respect for anyone who puts their name forward in public service at any level of government. And this past general election, we had about 29% of candidates who put their names forward that were women. I'd certainly think that we should have more female candidates, and I'd certainly like to see more females, more women represented in the House of Assembly, in the House of Commons, in City Council, in any aspect of our life. Thank you. And I think, Mr. Speaker, it's incumbent upon all of us to encourage people to enter political life, to show them how they can enter political life. And in particular, I think we should encourage women to do the same. I know how many women, and my honourable colleague sitting to my right today was on municipal council for many years, serving as a mayor. And I think how many women today are serving in municipal roles that we can encourage to become members of this House of Assembly. I know my colleague to the left has a very important role within our government, and I'd like to encourage more and more women to seek public office. I'd like to encourage more and more people to seek public office, and I think it's incumbent upon all of us to try and help them do so. We have to create the right environment for women to be involved in politics, and I think over the next number of years, I'd like to see changes to the way we operate the House to make it a little bit more family-friendly so that we can entice the next generation to join us here in the House of Assembly. And I think we have a great opportunity to make a better society when we open the doors and try and encourage more people to be here. During the general election and since forming government, I've heard many concerns about the serious and difficult financial situation facing the province. Almost $2 billion in deficit this year and growing. And I've heard countless times questions about how we ended up in this unprecedented financial situation, especially when we've had a time of oil revenues in this province. We're facing significant challenges that will require our collective leadership and vision and the engagement of the public. Together, our government hopes to lead our province toward a more sustainable economic future. And I think this is going to be critical. It's going to be difficult, but it will be critical to ensuring our future prosperity. Now, I'm fortunate enough to have been assigned the task as Minister of Natural Resources, and I'm as well as the responsible for the Office of Public Engagement. Now, in the Office of Natural Resources, I'm going to be focusing activities on laying the foundation of a well-planned, well-managed resource development which I think is going to be incredibly important for the future of our province, built on the principles of innovation, excellence, sound business and regulatory practices. Now, in this regard, one of our government's plans is to create an oil and gas industry development council consisting of government officials as well as industry stakeholders. And I see this council providing and determining a long-term vision for the province's oil and gas industry. I think they'll provide input on creating a more sustainable and competitive industry and ensuring we move expeditiously from discovery to production. I think this is going to be critically important as we move forward, Mr. Speaker, because we want to have a strong, vibrant economy, and this is one way that this project can give us benefits under our agreements and ensure that we have the goals aligned to ensure that vibrant economy. In regard to offshore exploration and development, regulatory certainty and maintaining an attractive and stable business environment for operators and investors is critical to the long-term success of our province's oil and gas industry. And our government is committed to streamlining the processes for regulatory approvals and certification, for establishing the royalty regimes necessary for future developments, and pursuing options for exploration and development. We have a vast energy resource providing a competitive advantage in attracting industrial and development and energy security. We have, with our 2D seismic that has been taking place over the last number of years, we've identified 350 prospects in our offshore oil. I mean, that is tremendous opportunity. It really is a frontier for the world. Mr. Speaker, our government is also committed to promoting growth in the mining industry of the province. The mining industry remains a valuable contributor to the provincial economy with strong potential for recovery and growth in the coming years. We may see at this moment, Mr. Speaker, a dip in our commodity prices, challenges in the global markets, but I do believe, as we've seen in the past, that that will recover and we will continue to have a vibrant mining industry. We will encourage the expansion of mining operations in the province, and we will consult with industry to explore the possibility of venture capital opportunities and continue to fund prospector grants throughout the province. In the months and years to come, we will fulfill our commitments of building on the trust placed in us on November 30th, 2015. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, I want to take a moment to say a few words to my family. I want to acknowledge my own family and the contributions they have made. As many members of this House know, public service impacts our families in many ways. My family has always supported me, and this truly is a family choice, a choice to give back. And I know that, for example, my sister flew down from British Columbia to help me at going door to door. My brother contributed to my campaign and helped me. My other sister has been here on an ongoing basis as well, and I want to thank them for that. But most importantly, Mr. Speaker, as I know that many people in this room today, in this House today, I particularly want to thank my wonderful husband, Pat, who was in the galleries today, by the way, for his incredible support, guidance, and advice. Mr. Speaker, there is much to be done. As I stand in this historic House, surrounded by members here, I recognize that we've been entrusted by the province, the people of this province, to work to improve their lives. I started today by reminding all honourable members that our responsibility is to the individuals who make up the mosaic of Newfoundland and Labrador. Let us never forget our duty to them. Let us never forget our fiscal responsibility to them. Let us never forget we are here because of them. I look forward to working with all members of this great House of Assembly on behalf of the people of this province. Thank you for the opportunity to do so.